What's up, YouTube? Back with another live stream. It's gonna be about all topics relating to gang stalking, everything. First thing we're gonna start with is financial deprivation and why they do it. It's pretty much like that's like the goal of it. That's the goal of gang stalking is to get you financially deprive you. That's the goal of gang stalking. So we're gonna talk about why they do it, how they do it, and we're gonna talk about just pretty much everything that's around it. So, why they do financial deprivation? Um, First off, they do financial deprivation because we have access to knowledge. And I'm not reading from anything right now, but we have um, access to knowledge that they don't want the public to have. They probably think that if you get around six figures or something like that, that you'll be able to, spread this knowledge and stuff like that. But that's the reason that they do financial deprivation. We're going to talk about the things that they do at the job, or anywhere to get you to leave a comfortable area, or or an area that's going to financially benefit you. Like right now, I'm at a shelter. I have my own room in the shelter. They kind of have those at kind of all veteran shelters. I have my own room. But this is why they do this. Like you're staying somewhere free. For one, this is we talking about a shelter, but this is just anywhere that they try to get you to leave. Um, but they'll do indirected conversations. They have a bunch of people surrounding you in these shelters or at your job. Well, especially your job. Let's talk about the job because everybody not at the shelter. So let's talk about the job. Okay, so financial deprivation at the job, how they do it using directed conversations, however you say it. They do it for that reason to get you to leave and be broke, and you really can't escape financial deprivation. I mean, you can, but you just have to go extremely hard. Like if they financially depriving you and you're staying at, you say you have your own place, which I don't suggest any targeted individual do, um, unless you're paying like an extremely low amount of rent. But I don't suggest you have your own place until you can because it's not going to stop anywhere. Anywhere, it's not going to stop. Even if gang stalking is not really happening, even if people are not targeting you at your job, right? Say, which is going to be impossible, right? So if people aren't even targeting you at your job, you'll still feel like they're targeting you, even if they aren't. If you get what I'm saying, like they sensitize you to regular things. Like they sensitize you to regular conversation, trigger words. Or they sensitize you to regular conversations. So you have to understand these type of things. So I'm just on here to just give this advice. That's pretty much it. But it's I used to say advice varies, but it doesn't. Advice doesn't vary when you just look at logic and logistics of things. I used to say advice varies to situation, but I suggest like if you have your own place, um, you just have your own place. Like you have your own apartment or something like that. Like you just have that. But if you don't, that's not the first thing you want to do because they're going to financially deprive you. They're going to financially deprive you, and that's just what that is. Like it's like you can get around it, but the way you get around different financial deprivation is I know a lot of targets that don't have vehicles. That's a way to get around financial deprivation. Um, because you got to pay insurance every month, even if you don't have a car note. Imagine having a car note and insurance. But you know, just getting rid of that ego that you might have, getting rid of getting rid of the ego that you might have, and say, hey, let me go stay at this shelter. As a targeted individual, you should definitely get rid of ego. Definitely. Hey, let me go stay at a shelter. Let me go stay somewhere where I don't have to pay any rent. Stuff like that. But they do everything to make you want to leave those type of places, especially shelters and jobs. Especially shelters and jobs. They do everything to get you to try to leave those type of places. Or if you live, or even if you living in like your car, which I'd rather do. I'd rather live in my car. I've done it so many times. I used to rent rental trucks, U-Haul, uh, stuff like that. All the rental trucks, all the rental companies, I probably rented from them. And I used to work out of them through an app. Um, it's an app called Roadie. I used to work out of those rental trucks through an app, and I used to sleep at truck stops and just wake up, no shower, nothing, and just do that for like 3 months, 2 months straight. That was fun, but that's financial. You don't want to do that either because you have to leave the engine on. But that's kind of a different topic. But if you do have a vehicle, I suggest you stay in it. If you have a vehicle, I suggest you stay in your vehicle, because if you're a target, you're being financially deprived. They're trying to financially deprive you for sure. I don't even suggest a motel at certain points. Like, I guess I'm speaking from a hard target. Some of y'all might have to come back and look at this as the years go on. Look at some of my videos as the years go on and say, like, oh my gosh, because if you try to come up, they're going to do everything to keep you down. Financial deprivation, it goes so far. Financial deprivation, it can mean you're single, you're not in a relationship. All of a sudden, you're in a relationship now. And guess what? Now you're spending money because of that relationship, and you're ignoring targeting. Like, when I'm in a relationship, I completely ignore targeting. I don't care. Like, I ignore targeting. I just forget it happens. Like, I forget. So I just had to get rid of all like dating apps and stuff like that. And it's everything's financial now. You need to be looking at saving as financial. Um, you need to be looking at the places that you lay your head at as financial. Like, sleep in the car if you have to. You know what I'm saying? Sleep in the car. Get in a shelter. Stuff like that. Because the car is a house. That's how I was looking at it. That's how I was looking at it. I was looking at a car as a house at a point, because it was like, why can't I come up? And I'm in such a good position to come up. I've never done any type of drug ever, pills ever, nothing like that. So I'm like, I smoke weed and stuff like that, but I kind of even stopped that a little bit. But it was like, why can't I come up? Why do I just keep? And I'm in such a good position too. I'm disabled, and I also decide to work sometimes. Whether that be I go to a job, to just get a little extra funding. But I'm disabled, and I still can. I have a disability check. I still can't even, um, you know, come up. I was only a certain amount that I could reach, and now it's all financial. It's all financial. The targeting is all financial. I guarantee you save up around a high five figures, you're gonna forget you was targeted. You just gotta endure. That's what you just gotta pretty much endure. You gotta pretty much endure. Now, if you're with somebody, say you got a significant other, and you stay with them, that's a good thing too, because you have two people putting toward the rent. Somebody say you're not disabled. You don't look like it. What's wrong with you? My one of my arms skinnier than the other one, and I can't. I don't have any motion to really move it like that. I can't really drive with it or anything like that. But I think that's a perk. Don't comment again if you are, because I will immediately block you and I won't show it on the stage. But yeah, like that's just what that is. But yeah. So in one of my arms, you can see the bone. Okay, okay, cool. So it's not a perk. But yeah, one of my arms, you can clearly see the bone hanging off of it clearly. Like on my right arm. But yeah, just basically what you want to do is just get financially focused, because financial deprivation is all around the board. Financial deprivation is all around the board. It's all around the board. Like it's relationship. It's because that's what they did to me. My baby mother, she she came out of nowhere. Like when I first I started getting my money. I started, well, not my money. I've been getting my disability money, but I was on probation, and the only thing I can do, I couldn't smoke weed, so I was just completely focused on money. Like I couldn't smoke weed. She came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it was my baby mother within almost a month, and I was spending money on her, and I left during the pregnancy. Like she was probably like 6 months. I left during the pregnancy. I left during the pregnancy because I just noticed. I noticed. I'm like, wow, hold it. That's a way to financially deprive you. It's a way to financially deprive you. Relationships are a way to financially deprive you. You have to get on your grizzly. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get on your grizzly. Like that's like some real serious stuff. You have to get on your grizzly. You have to be on your grind. You have to be. You have to be, because it's financial deprivation is everything. Financial is all around the board. Financial is all around the board. That's not the only thing we're going to talk about tonight, but we're going to be on the topic of financial deprivation. If I can get some more comments, questions, or anything like that, that'll be cool. But financial deprivation is all around the board. That's what relationships don't. I'm not saying don't go have sex or anything like that, but the system has to crumble first. Um, yeah, I mean, but what you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by the system has to crumble first? I'm not sure what you mean by that. But financial deprivation is all around the board. It's everything. Deprivation is Financial deprivation goes all the way down to having a place and you just have enough money to just having a place and you just have enough money to pay your rent. Like it's like don't even have a place then. Go stay in a shelter. Like a lot of shelters that you have to stay in, some of them are 75 to a room. You'll end up sick every week. But you know, it is worth it to, get you up out of there, to get you in a car to stay in. You don't get sick when you stay in the car, but you're definitely going to be sick staying around a bunch of people that are outside all day doing drugs around other people, all of that stuff. I was getting sick every week at one shelter, and it wasn't a veteran shelter. It was a shelter that 75 to a room. But in order to make money, too much warfare. I mean, nah. Like I'm just saying, it's about this. Financial deprivation is pretty much everything. Like it's everything. Financial is having to pay rent when you don't have enough money. I mean, and that's all the money that you have is to pay rent. Financial deprivation is being in a relationship and a girl want to get her nails done. all the time, or just anything. Like just you don't. You have to wait to do certain things first before you do any of that. Like I said, I'm gonna be out of a relationship for the next 2 years for sure, but I won't be in anything to where I'm just not having, or I'm being celibate. I'm not being celibate. That's not happening. Yeah, I got sick too standing those people laying in my bed that wasn't assigned to them. Yep, that probably was a part of your financial deprivation. And I'm pretty sure you left the shelter earlier because of that. Like earlier than the possible 3 months that they give you to stay there. I'm pretty sure you left the shelter early because of that. That's organized stalking. That's financial deprivation. They do indirect conversations at the shelters. They'll even hire people to make you feel weird. Indirect conversations everywhere. People making you feel weird, uh, and then try to make an excuse. And if you don't leave, they'll make an excuse. If you don't care and you don't leave, like I've been at every shelter, they'll make an excuse to kick you out. They'll make an excuse to kick you out. you know, like to try to make it seem like you left, or if it's for some other reason, or whatever. Like, no, like no, I don't care. You know, so that's just what that is. Yeah, they always make us the problem. Yep, yep, they sure do. They sure do. They sure do. That stuff is crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's because when you have this type of knowledge, bro, the knowledge of this 24/7 surveillance, you have a 24/7 surveillance knowledge, bro, that means you're walking with God. But the 24/7 surveillance is devilish. But you're walking with God when you have uh, the knowledge of 24/7 surveillance, because they say God see everything. We're put in a program to make it seem that they say God see everything. We're put in a program that someone else sees everything that we do. So they get mad that I guess they expect us to notice that or something like that, but they get mad when you just on point, you just on your stuff. So that's just what that is. But it's honestly sad. Financial deprivation is all around the board, though. That's what people don't understand. That's what targets don't understand. Like, you have to not be in a relationship for a few years. Uh, if you if you don't have kids right now, don't don't. People think it's okay. Like, it's not okay. I mean, if you were another targeted individual, or you were a person that for sure staying with you, have kids. But child support is crazy. Imagine having to go to work to be paying child support and pay for rent at your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't be thinking about that stuff. People do not be thinking about that stuff, but everybody don't end up on it. Some people end up, giving a baby mother $100 a week, and they never end up on child support. That's why I said. That's why I said it's getting so intense. The system has to crumble because it's getting hard just being around these people to work. Yes, it is. It is. It is. That's the most. Most targets want to do a job. Excuse me. I drink, so my bad. But most targets want to do a job that 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 is something like a delivery service app. Most targets want to do a job that's something like a delivery service app to where they're not around people at all. But it gets extremely. I'm talking about extremely. You're right. Yeah, and they know how to hack them people. Yeah, I told them that. I told all my subscribers that. It can be one perp at your job that has you thinking it's everybody just by starting a conversation with somebody. Not everybody's in that conversation. Now you think everybody at that job target you. It can be like that. Everyone who is a perp was a TI once a part of the time. They sold out because they couldn't handle it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about that. I don't really look into like what perps do or anything like that. Like, I don't even look into it. I just pretty much ignore perps. Like, I ignore perp channels, anything like that. If I feel like that, I'm not even gonna speak on it. Like, I just ignore perp channels. Like, I ignore it. But yeah, yeah, they do. Some of them do. But they know how to hack these people. Trust me. Yeah, I know they know how to hack them. Like, they'll hack they whole. It could be. You gotta understand. It could be like I said. It could be they'll hack their whole mind. It can be um, one person at a job, right? That starts a conversation before you walk in your job. Now everybody's in on that conversation. Now you think they perping you. Now you think everybody perping you when it's only one perp at the job. But what they say can rub off. Like, as soon as you walk in, like, people will be, the regular people that's at your job will be in their mind like, wow, that's some spiritual stuff. He just walked in as soon as we was talking about this. But yeah, they'll hire people at your job. Half the time they already there. There's a perp at every job. They're already there. They're already there. There's a perp at every job there is. They're already there. They have to be. There's no now that I think about it, there's no businesses that's being ran without one person, at least one person that's in on just pretty much everything. Somebody, even if it's not the manager, somebody there is with this targeting stuff. Somebody there is with this targeting stuff. But yeah, that's what this stuff is. But I'm gonna find another topic besides financial deprivation, because I'm gonna be on here a little bit. I'm gonna be on here for a little minute. I'll stay on here because I'm getting comments. So I'll stay on here for a little minute. But yeah, financial deprivation is all around the board. You gotta stop caring about certain stuff. You gotta get rid of that party mindset. You gotta get rid of that mindset. Oh yeah, I gotta be at this party, I gotta buy these clothes, I gotta do all of this stuff. You gotta get rid of that mindset. You have to. You have to get rid of that mindset. Because they want you just broke. They want you broke. Like, they want you broke. Like, seriously. Like, they want you broke for real. Like, it's too much. It's just a certain knowledge that they don't want out there, and I've already said why 24/7 surveillance would stop. The knowledge of 24/7 surveillance like we have it, which has been repetitive, right? It's been repetitive to us. So I found a way to make it repetitive to society. I mean, I haven't done it yet, but I probably would do it. I mean, I'm probably not going to do it, but that's an idea for someone else. But to make 24/7 surveillance repetitive to society, to where it gets in society's mind, it would make crime stop, and crime pays, and it pays the system. So, yeah, like that's if you want to do that, it's something you can do. But to make it repetitive, all you have to do is put 24/7 surveillance things up. You have to put 24/7 surveillance signs up everywhere on every street in America. Don't commit that say don't commit any crime. Three-letter agencies are watching everything. You will be caught. If people were seeing that, like, say some people in a car, say some gangsters in a car, They got guns. They're ready to go do something to somebody, right? But all they see is 24/7 surveillance. Crimes don't commit any violent crimes. Everything is being watched through high tech, unexplainable technology. You will be caught. They're gonna turn that car around. And I said that in my last live stream. I had to delete my last live stream because I mentioned something that I wasn't supposed to mention. That was about um, uh, that 2019 thing, you know, with the mask. So I had to delete that. But yeah, that's how I found how to stop crime. They don't want to stop that, but yes, they know who we are. So many people notice us now. I mean, yeah, you could say that. You could say that. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like I say, it's a system, right? It's a system. Like it's not a thing of people knowing you. Like the people that do know us are informants. You know, if everybody know you, that will mean you. That will mean our soul was stolen for everybody to know you. You know, you can't steal anyone's soul. We are citizens and unknown citizens. You can't steal somebody's soul from them. You know, that's fame. Those people are of, you know, the devil. So you can't. Um, Everybody don't know us. It's a system. Like it's a notification system. You know, you get somebody that you get to act like you know somebody for a bad thing in bad ways. People in public act like they know you, but they know you for something bad. You know, that's impossible. That's a scientific method. You know, that's impossible. You know, but the thing is they receive notifications. They have earpieces. They getting told what to say. They receive notifications. It's a network. They don't know us. Like, nah, they don't know us. Like that would be us giving away our rights as a citizen, and being a celebrity. You know, those people have sold they soul, aka in my words, in layman terms, giving away your rights as a citizen, not being able to walk in Walmart without being asked for a picture or being endangered. That's their problem. We can walk in Walmart, so you know, like we can walk in Walmart. We can do all of that. We can walk in Walmart. We can go in any place that don't nobody. That's giving away your rights as a citizen. Being a celebrity, that's giving away your rights as a citizen. They don't know us. No person in public personally knows us. Personally, they're being dispatched. Remember, intelligence over logistics. And I thought it took away the fun, but it doesn't. You know, knowing your knowing your ex and your classmates and your family and friends and associates, finding out that they aren't watching you through your phone camera or through a hidden camera in your house, finding out that they aren't. I thought it took away the fun, but it doesn't. It just puts you on a path to success and know that they was trying to get you to think that way when it's only three little agencies watching you. They were trying to get you to think that everyone was watching you because it would throw you off. It will make you make decisions of, you know, worldly, culture decisions. Oh, I gotta do something. I gotta be something that's good. I gotta be a worker of iniquity, like an artist. Or I gotta be this. I gotta be that. I gotta be gangster. Somebody step on my shoes. I gotta do something because everybody that I know is watching me through my phone camera. Stuff like that. You know, scientific method to that stuff, and I figured it out. I figured it out. So reasons that they, make impossible things, try to make them logical. Nah, it's not even logical. You know, But financial deprivation is pretty much all around the board. Financial deprivation is pretty much all around the board. It's in every way. You got to stay out of relationships until you can, unless that person is willing to. You don't have to date another targeted individual, but unless that person is willing to put in with you, be paying half of the rent, you pay half of the rent, which that's still a little bit too much to do when you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do any of that. You can go to a shelter. You can sleep in your car. You can do anything you want to financially succeed. You just have to be willing to suffer for a while. You know, you have to be willing to endure and suffer, like the scripture says, and that's what I'm doing. Like I'm telling people now, like people, somebody asks me, I'm going from shelter to shelter all around the country, anywhere that I'm not paying rent. Uh, you know, luckily, I I'm a veteran, so I go to shelters. I can go to shelters that have one room. It's one to a room. So I'm good with that. I'm going all 50 states doing that until I'm financially successful. So you catch my drift, right? You have to go hard because you only get around 3 to 6 months to stay at those shelters. Other than that, they trying to get you in an apartment, which you shouldn't do. That's they're trying to get you in an apartment unless you're paying some extreme low amount of rent. But other than that, they're trying to get you in an apartment, which you shouldn't do. Or, after those 3 to 6 months that you can stay at a shelter, they try to get you in an apartment. But it's not a good idea because once again, that's you got to stick to that apartment for that 12 months, and once again, that's not that's you having to pay after a certain amount of time. You have to pay money after a certain amount of time. You got to pay rent. Like you might get that apartment 3 months free, but that's 7 months. Guess what? You got to pay rent. So for the rest of that 7 months, you got to pay rent, whatever rent that is. So yeah, I'm going all 50 states, 3 to 6 months at each shelter until I have around 6 figures, and then I'm doing what I want to. I hear a lot of y'all talk about them OnlyFans girls. Yes, stuff like that. And continue to work. You know what I'm saying? Continue to work too. But that's just bringing comfortability. Yeah, but that's just bringing the comfortability. But I'm gonna switch up the topic. Well, I'm gonna say a little bit more about financial deprivation. Like I said, you have to get somewhere to where, and if you're sleeping in the car, truck stops is places that you can go to without being bothered. Uh, Specifically, the front of the truck stops where the trucks aren't. They probably won't bother you there. If you have a car, where the gas pumps are and the parking spots are, they probably won't bother you over there. Truck stops is a good place to go. You probably won't even have to pay for a parking spot. But yeah, truck stops. Um, if you're not, if you're not, if you don't have a car and you're paying rent somewhere, you staying with your parents, I would suggest go get in a shelter. If you staying with your parents and they make you pay an extreme amount of rent, you shouldn't be paying any. Just go get in a shelter because they're financially depriving you. This program is all about finances. The world is about finances. The world is financial. Everything is financial. Everything. If you think about it, everything is financial. The gas station, go to the store, financial. Like I'm staying in the shelter, I can stay in the house. That's a financial decision. You feel what I'm saying? Like everything is financial. So, you just have to get rid of that ego, like that, oh, I need this or that, I need to be staying in this type of place, or I need to be staying in that type of place, or I need to be wearing these type of clothes. No, no. You can keep the same amount of clothes. You'll be good. Just do that. Do that type of stuff when you can. Certain things I never suggest. I never suggest uh what um I don't even know what I was about to say. But yeah, certain things I never suggest. I never suggest certain things. It'll come back to me. But yeah. The next topic is gonna be the topic of surveillance. Excuse me, my bad. I'm not a perp. I forgot to say at the beginning of my live stream. I will take a lie test. I am not a perp. I'm not a part of any organizations. I don't know any of you on here. Lie tests are $400 plus. You can take it on all of those type of things. I don't know any of you on here. I'm not part of any organization. No one is making me get on here and speak about this stuff. So this is the channel for you to come to and be comfortable listening to. You can listen. You can be comfortable listening to any targeted individual. Anybody talking about 24/7 surveillance, you can be comfortable pretty much listening to them because no one's watching you listen to any. I mean, no one's watching. No one regular person. No one regular citizen is watching you in your privacy anyway. But they definitely aren't letting them watch you while you're listening to truth, especially something about 24/7 surveillance. But yeah, it's only through the agencies listening to you. That's just what that is. You know, and I said in one of my posts I'm looking at now, I said anybody that surveils is a cop, badge or not. Stop spreading misinformation. Privacy surveillance is a Fed job. Surveillance is a Fed job. It's a cop job. If you get what I'm saying, like that's not a job of a civilian. You know, so those are only people that's doing that privacy surveillance. You know, those are the only people that's doing that. Those are the only people that's doing that. You know, and people will think it's just regular people because the reason that they dispatch these regular people and notify them with your personal information is because they want you to think that those regular people are listening to you and watching you in your privacy so they get the correct outcome of crashing out, whether that be crashing out talking to yourself for an hour because you think your coworkers are listening or your classmates are listening, or crashing out in public. You know what I'm saying? It's scientific. It's a scientific method. Scientific method. Okay? That's just what that is. I also see a video by Michael Parsons. I'll just show it to y'all. I want y'all to go check this channel out. That's how you spell it. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'll just put the I'll just put his name in the what's it man. Let me see. But yeah, I'm gonna put his name in the comment section and post it up. He got well, he got multiple videos, but it's one video that pretty much, one 17-minute video that pretty much, the video that I just showed you, you might want to listen to that, um, like over and over again. You might want to listen to that over and over again. Because one thing you don't want to be doing is running around here thinking that um, regular citizens are involved in surveillance and certain stuff like that. That's one thing you don't want to be. That's one thing you don't want to be running around here doing, because that's gonna get you to crash out. You know, surveillance is a law-abiding job. I'm not gonna say citizen, but surveillance is a law-abiding job. You got to understand, surveillance, the surveillance job. If there's a job that you can watch somebody in their privacy, you got to be a law-abiding person. Yeah, that means that's probably through the agencies. You got to be a law-abiding person to watch somebody in their privacy and through their phone camera, stuff like that. But yeah, we'll pretty much go and read from my post. If I can get some more comments in here, I keep going. That's what I want to do. I want to keep going. I'm not gonna be going live every day now. I think the the message is gotten across to whomever thinks that I'm going to stop doing this. So I think the message has got across. I show my face on here, so my intentions aren't anything but this. I'm talking about this on here, showing my face, just being myself. Even my voice is being myself. Very uncomfortable. I do not want to show my face doing this. I wanted to be a gangster rapper before, but that was a long time ago, you know. But I show my face on here now. This is my voice. I can't even talk gangster, so yeah, this me. But yeah, that's just great. That was hard to do. That was hard. It was difficult to do. Definitely want to get on here and show my face. But yeah. Trying to find some other topics to talk about. I don't want to talk about surveillance this live stream because that's pretty much what I get on every live stream. I was just, um, just removing that discomfort that people had in their privacy. Some of my subscribers, removing that discomfort that some of my subscribers had. Um, you know, just thinking that your coworkers are listening to you in your privacy. Yeah, I used to think like that too for years. Until I realized the scientific method to that. They want me to think my coworkers are listening so I can talk. So I can talk about them whatever way, so I can make up every joke, they want me to say my raps out loud because they want me to think somebody else is listening. Besides three-letter agencies. You see the scientific method that they want you to make these people are listening so you can talk. And it's really just them listening. It's really just those three-letter agencies. You see the scientific method that I just you have to use logistics. You have to put logistics over intelligence. You have to put logistics over intelligence. Logistics are over intelligence every time. I take logistics over intelligence every time. Every time. But I'm trying to find another subject to speak on that's within gang stalking. I would love if y'all gave some comments or something like that. Oh, yeah. Never mind. I mean, if y'all want to comment, y'all can. But I have a topic to speak on: targeting, relocation, and the thought. You're listen. Targeting and relocation of states. Your mindset. Your mindset should not be escaping targeting. Your mindset should be breaking the illusion of targeting. How you break the illusion of targeting? How you break the illusion of targeting is moving to a different state. That's how you break the illusion. Oh, these people in my home city that's doing these indirect conversations in front of me, they possibly know me. Okay, so let me move 3 states away. Let me move 3 states away. And you move 3 states away and they doing that same thing. Okay, you done broke the illusion. You know they don't know you 3 states away. So you done broke the illusion. You show who they are. Now you know it's a system. When I first moved, I still thought it was I know it. moved with me, but I still thought it was the Freemasons. I wasn't trying to escape anything. I wasn't trying to escape anything at all. I knew it was going to happen, but you have to break the illusion. That's what you have to do. Relocation is going to break the illusion of targeting. And don't relocate when you just out of nowhere, but when you can, you do that. And when you relocate, if you don't have enough money, you go get in a shelter. Don't go try to get a motel. You stay there until you can leave. Don't try to get a motel or apartment unless you have that type of money. Don't go and try to do that. But relocation, there is no, it's not an escape. It's not an escape. We're not trying to escape anything. It's not an escape. It's going to happen in the other state. That's how you break the illusion. Even the Bible says this stuff. You will be stalked, followed, tracked everywhere you go. The Bible says this stuff. People leaving as I say that. But the Bible even says that. You will be tracked, stalked, followed everywhere you go. And a man that travels gains much of knowledge. You gain that knowledge when you travel. You're going to gain that knowledge. You're going to gain that knowledge. The knowledge of knowing who to doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Knowing who doing this. That's moving to another state. You already an unknown person in your state, of course, right? Every targeted individual, every non-public figure is an unknown person. You already an unknown person in your state, right? You move to another state. Directed, indirected conversations are happening. In another state, right? It's the damn government doing it, bruh. 3 little agencies are doing that. Using third-party companies. Okay? A man that travels gains much of knowledge. Much of knowledge. Much of knowledge. That's when I stopped caring. I started seeing it in every state. People trying to make it seem like you're trying to escape gangstalking or something like that. No, I mean, escape is not. It shouldn't even be used in gangstalking. It shouldn't be used. No, you're trying to see what's going on. The only way you're going to see what's going on is by moving. That's the only way you're going to see what's going on. Well, I kind of just told you that it's going to follow you. Yes, it is. I kind of just told you it's going to follow you, so you kind of already know. Like, it's going to follow you. It's going to follow you state to state. That's what lets you know who's running that program. That is, psychological damage cannot be repaired. It can't. It can't. It can never be repaired. Psychological damage can never be repaired. Well, yeah, it can, but it can't. You'll never be able to trust anyone, that's for sure. But psychological damage, I'm repaired. I'm repaired. Like, I'm repaired. I understand. Like, well, these are citizen informants that follow me around, harass me, and that they put inside of these shelters, or they put inside of these jobs. They're citizen informants. Sometimes they're already there. They're citizen informants, bro. Like, so that repaired me in a way. But you just never know who that is. You never know who's doing it. You never know who in on Gangstalking. But to know that when you figure it out, they're citizen informants, instead of thinking that, oh, this is a cult. These the Freemasons, which they might be in that, but they're citizen informants. That's what that is. And the funny thing is how they done got people to join that type of stuff, thinking that they just the best in the world. It's funny how even people of my color thinking we some type of powerful, but we don't have no superpowers, bro. We all human. We're all human. I've never said no stuff like that. We don't have no superpowers, bro. We don't have no superpowers, bro. We don't have. It ain't no, people my color, bro, thinking they some type of god or something like that, bro. It ain't no superpowers, bro. There are no superpowers, bro. We ain't no such thing. No such thing. We're all human, bro. We all eat the same, sleep the same. You feel what I'm saying? We can't do nothing different than the other. We can't do nothing different than the other. We ain't powerful. We ain't none of that. Everybody is the same type of people, bro. And I ain't never thought of us in a way as being that. But I need to let that go. I don't know what you think they're gonna make somebody more superior than the other. They made us more superior. They made people of my color more superior by the environments that we had to endure for hundreds of years ago. That's how we became superior in a way, in certain ways. Environments we had to endure for being enslaved. We ain't got no dang superpowers, bro. Y'all be gone with that. Ain't no voodoo. That stuff don't exist. None of that. It's not real unless you connect to God. But I'm kind of off topic. I'm not on the topic that people want me to talk about, right? But yeah, that's aggravating, bro. But yeah, three-letter agencies hire third-party companies to stalk and harass. They're responsible for the actions of many people like Myron, Mays, 100%. Never getting me to react in any way like that, you know, not an accusation, it's just logistical fact. Yeah, I could, for personally, I'm a hard target. I personally can tell you that they were 100% doing that stuff to Myron Mays, bro. Because they're doing it to me. I have something to lose. They threaten me with jail as if I've done something. I wouldn't know. I'm not about to argue about that. They send me jail threats, try to put stuff in my mind. It shit, bro. Me as a 3-year old is in my mind, bro. Okay? So that's not going to work. I'm never crashing out. I'm just going to ignore it. I'll see you when I see you. But other than that, it's, getting to what you don't like me to have. That's what I'm doing. And I see them when I see them. You're not finna bother me. That stuff don't bother me. They can't hurt me. That stuff don't hurt me. I'm connected to God, bro. And I'll do whatever for him. And I understand the scripture. I understand what a worker of iniquity is. I understand what a worker of iniquity is. A worker of iniquity is a rapper. Someone that's swaying people to, do bad. That's a worker of iniquity. Actors, workers of iniquity. Even a politician ain't really a worker of iniquity. They just turn a blind eye. That's their problem. They doing the good stuff, I guess, but workers of iniquity are rappers, stuff like that. Those are workers of iniquity, bro. And I don't mess with none of them. So whether it's politician, rapper, none of that. I'm not listening to none of that. I don't care. I live in a logistical life. I don't. I don't. I don't thrive often. I don't. Intelligence has to be taught by someone else. Logistics can be peeped. Sometimes it takes observation, but intelligence has to be taught by someone else. Logistics takes simple observation, whether it be a lengthy observation or just I figure this gang stalking stuff out. It take you a minute to realize, yo, it ain't. It take you a minute to throw out the. We always know the cops is watching us as soon as targeting started, but it takes you a minute to throw out the citizen surveillance. That's what I tried to get y'all, because if citizens watching you, cops is too, of course. But it takes you a minute to throw out that citizen surveillance because they're not doing that. But it takes you a minute to throw that out. It takes you a minute. It takes you a minute to throw that mindset out to know that um, uh, your coworker don't have a hidden camera in your house. I'm gonna reference that Airbnb um, article again. I'm gonna reference that Airbnb article again. There were Airbnb customers reporting hidden cameras being inside of their Airbnbs. Multiple, right? Multiple. Finding hidden cameras. That lets you know that majority of society is not watching you in your house. Those are three-letter agencies. There was an article, a news article, on the news channel of people finding hidden cameras inside of Airbnbs. So they had me uncomfortable every place that I went to. I remember covering my TV, covering my phone camera. I stopped doing that stuff. I mean, if it helps you, you still can, but it's only three-letter agencies doing that. But if it helps you, you still can do that. Like if it whatever helps you. But yeah, I used to cover my TV and stuff like that, man. Like stuff like that. I used to really cover my TV, cover my phone camera from that discomfort. But it takes you a minute to throw out that citizen surveillance. We all know we always knew three-letter agencies was watching this. I knew that since 2018. Always knew three-letter agencies was watching, right? But we had a citizen surveillance aspect in our mind with that too. We thought citizens and three-letter agencies. We didn't just think, oh yeah, it's citizens, it's some cult. No, it's the cops. And that's the bottom line. That's who it is. That's who that is. But it takes you a minute to throw out that citizen surveillance talk. It takes you a minute. But back to relocation. Relocation shows you what's going on. When you go to a place you have never been to, and the same stuff start going on. The indirected conversations, people acting like they know you, saying subliminal stuff. That's the mindset they want you in. But you get to ignore it more in another state. You get to ignore it because nobody knows you. You get to ignore it. You get your targeting in another state, you get to ignore it. In your home city, you don't get to really ignore it. You can, but you don't really get to ignore it because hey, these people actually could have heard something about you. That's your home city. Even though that's we unknown people, nobody should be talking about us, right? But that's your home city. A person that has an indirect conversation in front of you, they could have really heard something, right? Now, when you go out of state and that happens, that's when you can ignore it. You can ignore it then. You can ignore it then. And when you do get out of state, I'm not saying move now, save first, or move out of state and get in the shelter. But when you do get out of state, don't talk to people. I was already like that where I was from. When you do get out of state, don't make friends. You don't have to be celibate. Get your girlfriend, whatever. Do whatever, multiple of them or not. You don't have to be celibate, but don't make friends. As in, um, trying to make trying to be friends with people and chill out. That ain't never happening, bro. That ain't never happening ever. Don't make friends. Don't make friends. I'm never doing that. But definitely don't make friends. You open up yourself. Even at jobs, don't talk to people for too long. Because if you a hard target, they'll treat you like you under investigation. For real, bro. Like so, it'll make you, it'll make you think. It'll make you start thinking. That's why I don't talk to people now. At least one of the reasons. Other reason, you can be getting in trouble for anything. Simply, you could be in the car with somebody, take you home from work, and they got something in it they ain't supposed to. Now you in trouble for it too. But that's just what that is. This is stuff you gotta understand. This is a pretty good live stream though. I'm not getting any more comments. Like I said, I need y'all to comment more, but yeah, I'm gonna keep on. How I keep my videos going is I listen to other targeted individuals and I binge watch this stuff. I figure out what problems people are having. Because I'm a targeted individual myself. You can look at all my shorts and stuff like that. I figure out the problems that others are having, and I just kind of, go in logistical mode off of, just trying to dissect the problem. How is that possible? How is this possible? Stuff like that. What agenda does this person have by saying this stuff? Or is this person, um, a perp trying to make others paranoid, give others an imaginary friend? And an imaginary friend is what I mean is when you sit and talk to yourself because you think somebody listening, like a target, you know, like how we used to do, how I used to do, still do sometimes. But I'm getting my point across to the people that I know listening. Hey, don't come bothering me, bro. I know what you own. I know this stuff is about my finances, and I know I haven't done anything in my life. So, that's when I speak to myself. Don't come bother me. Don't play with me. Those for them people with them 3 letters. Don't come play with me. I know this about my finances. I was already told this about my finances. Like, don't play with me. So that be for them when I speak to myself sometimes. But that's why I stopped speaking it to myself, bro. Like, it's you realize what's going on. They trying to make you crash out. But yeah, like people don't like that. But yeah, people don't like that. People don't like that stuff. So yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, people don't like that stuff. But yeah, I'll be back live. It's everywhere. It's becoming mainstream. It's effed up. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. But yeah, like to them people, them 3 letter agency, bro. Don't come messing with me, bro. Don't ever come messing with me. Ever. Don't ever come try to put your hands anywhere near my wrist. And I don't care if you do. I just don't believe you can. I haven't done anything in my life. And y'all just mad at my success. I don't do anything but get on here and just try to help others. You know, try to help others. Try to stop them from things that they can that they'll end up doing from the psychological program that someone has put on them. Yeah, like it's just that. Like yeah, yeah. So this I know that's about my finances, the way I get targeted. But I've already seen a story. I mentioned that story multiple times of someone being threatened with arrest, and that person did something heinous. Um, yeah, that person did something heinous about being threatened with arrest. I've seen stories, bro. So I'm not about to do those same things. Just don't come try me. I know y'all listen. I know y'all in the chat. Don't come playing with me, bro. Don't, don't, don't. Stay out of my way. And that's just what that is. But yeah, like do what you want. But yeah, whatever cluster bees everywhere. I mean, yeah, they're everywhere. Though. Everything's everywhere. Like, all this stuff's everywhere. But you have to understand. You have to understand that who is doing it and how to escape that reality. You got to get out your home state. You have to get out of your home state. Like you have to, because it's going to break that illusion. You need that illusion broken because it's you'll see what's going on when you go to another state. You'll see the exact same thing goes on. People that can't possibly even know you by any fucking way act like they know you, and it's just impossible. It's impossible. Once you see that, a man that travels gains much knowledge. You realize that the system has circled your name, and they don't like what you know. They don't like what you know. I'm getting comments. I guess I can stay on here. He says they're connected. from top to bottom. Yeah, yeah, they are. They are. They are. They are. They really are. But yeah, that's what it is. But you have to understand who it is. You have to understand who's doing that. In order to ignore it because they want you focused on that all the time, which is okay to focus on gang stalking. It's okay to binge watch gang stalking. But what you have to do is understand who is doing that. And you're going to become more powerful once you realize that the government has circled your name and says, hey, we don't want this person successful. These three-letter agencies have circled your name. Hey, we don't want this person successful. Let's attack them. Let's use everybody we have to financially deprive them. You have to understand that's what it is. It's not a cult following you. It's not a cult following you or anything. That's what I did too. I connected the lines. That's what I did too. I connected the lines. Like I connected everything. That's exactly what I did. I just sat back, observed, and realized why Targets was saying certain things and certain problems that Targets was having. And I just came up with a logistical conclusion. Like, hey, that's what it is. And it's actually impossible for another citizen to be comfortable watching some other citizen in their house. So that's why they do that. They tell you the other citizens are watching in your house because when three-letter agencies are actually watching, they tell you other citizens are watching you in your house because of the paranoia it causes, the shortness of breath, the talking to yourself. Um, you'll end up just talking to yourself, thinking that you talking to one of your coworkers and they not in your house. You're one of your coworkers or your classmates and they not around you. They're not even listening. You know what I'm saying? So it's to get you to do stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, three-letter agencies keep that BS away from me. Um, all that stuff, keep that stuff away from me. Whatever BS you got going on, I don't have anything to do with it. Keep it away from me. Other than that, we good. I'm not studying none of that stuff. But next topic, or next comment. Yeah, next topic or next comment. But yeah, like, yeah, I get on here so people can just come on here and show and see, and have something to listen to. Like because I like listening. I like binge watching hours of live streams and stuff like that. That stuff is very healthy for a target to do. It might not be healthy for everybody, but binge watching targeted individual videos, extremely healthy. Extremely, extremely to help you out much. Especially when they're giving out good information. When they're giving out the good information that you need. Like I said, I'm a channel to come to. Every channel that you go to, you'll question why they say that. Why they say that they purping me? They purping me, man. I take a lot of detector tests, bro. A lie detector test. I will take a lot of detector tests. I don't know any of y'all. A lot of detector tests are $400. I can put on a lot of detector tests. I don't know any of y'all. Um, what else? I'm not being. Nobody's telling me to get on here and say this stuff. Um, all of that stuff. Like anything I need to say on there. Like I'm not in any organizations that do this stuff. I'm not in any of that stuff. I don't have any knowledge of people that do this stuff. This is straight up logistical. All of this stuff is logistical. So it's just what it is. Like, so it's a channel you can come to. I mean, it's not one of those channels that's gonna be like, man, why they saying that? Because that's how some of y'all be. Like, oh, they're perping you. Like, y'all get on here and make videos talking about other channels perping me and stuff like that. Woo, 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 woo. This is a channel to come to. I don't know any of y'all. I'm not perping you. Um, this is a channel where you can check your mental. If you think I'm perping you and I take a lot of tests about it, you need to check your mental because I don't know you. And no organization is making me say certain words or say trigger words. Or I don't personally know any of y'all. All of this can be put on a lot of tests. This is a channel to come to. This is a channel to say, hey, this is a channel to come to. This is a channel to come to. But other than that, I'm about to get off of here. Somebody mentioned V2K, but I don't know too much about V2K. Other than that, I'm about to get off of here. I'll probably be back live tomorrow. Just any day that I feel like it. It's not going to be every day. My point has been gotten across. Oh, police, security guards, nightclub guards linked to bartenders, drug dealers, and same way backwards information connections. Police, security guards, nightclub guards linked to bartenders, to drug dealers, and same way backwards information connections. Yeah, yeah, all of that, all of that, all of that stuff, bro. Like they're all in on that stuff. Everything. It's like people think. It's like people think that like all of this stuff is connected. Everything is connected to law enforcement, bro. Everything's connected to law enforcement. Every crime is all like it's like everything. Every group, all of this stuff is all of it. Like it might not be directly, but all of that stuff is connected to law enforcement, bro. Everything, bro. Everything, bro. Everything's connected to law enforcement. Like, so it's been like that. It's been like that. They started pretty much every organization, and I'm not even trying to make them the blame of it. Like it's just like that's just what that is. Like they started every organization, kept it going. I mean, at least these three little agencies, like they're involved in everything. People think there's a secret society, bro. Bro, people think there's a secret society in America, bro. Imagine thinking there's a secret society in America without the police being involved, bro. That is so funny. It's so funny. Like people are so stupid. Like I realized every year, last year I realized how stupid materialism was. This year I realized how stupid cool people think they is by joining these fraternities and these cults and stuff like that. Like, bro, you're stupid. Like, everything's connected to law enforcement, bro. You might well go get a job, but everybody can't do that. Everybody cannot do that. Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't go get a job. We have to have dumbasses. Excuse me. We have to have stupid people, bro. Everybody can't get a job. You know, everybody can't get a job. It has to be stupid. There has to be stupid. We got teachers out here, bro. Teachers need a job, so they gotta be. There has to be stupid. People have to be stupid, bro. People have to be stupid. But yeah, all of that stuff is connected, bro. And if you in materialism as a targeted individual, bro, get out materialism, bro. Until you can, at least. But there's no reason for you to be spending $1,000 on a pair of jeans, bro. Ever. There's no reason ever to spend $1,000 on a pair of jeans. And this is kind of off topic. Some people already know this stuff. Some people never gonna do that. But even if I have $100,000, I'm never spending $1,000 on a pair of jeans, bro. There's no way. there's no way. There's no way. Or even like even if I had, I'm not buying a car. I'm not even. I used to want a foreign vehicle so bad. If I had $100,000, I'm not even buying a foreign vehicle for $10,000, $20,000. I'm talking about a BMW or Mercedes Benz, anything like that. I'm not doing that. I'm doing what make me happy, and I kind of can say it on here. I mean, OnlyFans ain't illegal, but you know, I'm doing what make me happy. You can't take that stuff with you. You can't take that stuff with you. You can't. Like, I'm only doing what makes me happy. That's it. Like, do what makes you happy. You gotta do what makes you happy. Like, that's just what you have to do. I fell out of materialism. Like, it's no point. There's no point in doing materialism. It's no point. No point in materialism at all. No point in materialism. None of that stuff. None of that stuff. Excuse me. Since I'm a creative, let's go with the flow. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's a good thing, but yeah, you can't. Yeah, yeah. I mean, in creative in what way? I don't know. I don't even talk about creativity anymore, bro. Like, it's it's yeah. I don't talk about creativity anymore. It's not like I don't want to. I can't be around devils, bro. Obvious people that just don't know God for real. Says I'm a creative, must go with the flow. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess for you, I can't tell you. Yeah, I can't tell people what to do. I guess you talking about yourself. Yeah. If you creative and you creative person, just concept designer, comics, screenwriting. Okay, okay, okay. That's good. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's good. Keep doing that. That's something good. That's actually something good. Actually, yep, that's actually something good. It's not a worker of iniquity. It's actually something good. So yeah, keep going with that stuff. I'm proud of that. But yeah, I got 8 people in a live stream. That's why I'm targeting them too good. Yeah, yeah. That'll make you a target. Yeah, that's definitely. I'm not even gonna get into. I'm not even gonna get into my talents that I used to use. I now use them to just um I won't say you know remove mental illnesses. I wasn't gonna say heal the mind. I'm not no Jesus or a God in any type of way. I have an observation um power. Have an observation power, but yeah, I'm not even getting into my talents. But I use it for good. I use my talents for good now. I remove mental illnesses. I remove um, you know a bind that's placed on people's mind. About this targeting stuff, and just try to keep people going forward, keep people pushing forward. Because it's a tough mindset thinking that this is the Truman Show. And citizens are in the audience. So removing that from people's mindset is like that's my real goal. But yeah, but yeah, keep going with this stuff. Keep going with that concept designer, comic screenwriting. That stuff ain't bad things. He say that's why that's they are after my projects. 85% stolen. They want what's left. Yeah, yeah, that's about right. That's how they do that stuff. Yeah, that's how they do that stuff. That they'll definitely target you. You must not be. Well, you probably got smart. They don't want to. They scared to approach you or something like that. You probably got smart, and the people that labels for that stuff, the labels for that stuff, probably scared to approach you for concept because they don't approach smart people. Like if you learn, that's why I say certain stuff, especially if you're a rapper and you know about targeting. Hey, let that stop going to the studio. They need dumb people. They need dumb people, bro. Unless there's just something you do for a hobby, something that just keeps you going. I support it. I support it, but I don't even do that stuff myself. I support that stuff. It says 5 different attempts. Yeah, they do that type of stuff, bro. And I guarantee you, it wasn't somebody trying to do it to you physically. It definitely wasn't somebody trying to do it to you physically. It probably was all in different ways. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's all in different ways. But yeah, we had a pretty much a good live stream. I guess the next live stream it might be a little bit about this stuff and some targets trying to take music seriously. Unless you just an atheistic, but the Bible kind of clear, when it comes to that type of stuff. But I don't even want to call you atheistic. Somebody said don't speak on people that like you can't tell people to believe in God and stuff like that. Yeah, you're right, but it's just like going through this, and how the scripture just kind of guides targeting in so many ways, like how we have to travel, stuff like that, and he who travel gains much knowledge. Like it literally guides it. It literally guides it. It's like this: you'll be travel, you will be stalked, follow, and travel. You will be stalked, follow everywhere you go. Then another scripture goes, and I'm just saying it like this, but you can understand what I'm saying. You will be stalked, followed everywhere you go. Uh, your days are, they say numbered, whatever, right? And then it goes, um, um, he that travels gains much knowledge. You get what I'm saying? And how you travel out of state and you see the same thing in a state that you've never been to. You see people acting as if they know you, and you see that they were being sent around you to do certain things and stuff like that. Like, so it pretty much guides that type of stuff. It guides it. It guides it in so many ways. But yeah, like, just don't fall for this stuff. They try many ways to financially deprive you. Many ways. But yeah, keep going with that stuff. If you're doing any type of, stuff that can, some of that stuff can get you paid without even having, especially you doing comics, screenwriting, and stuff like that. Some of that stuff can get you paid without even having to be known or having to be, like some of that stuff can get you paid. So I would keep going with that type of stuff. I don't know how to do that type of stuff. Yeah. You just gotta stay out the way and just keep going with this stuff. Because they definitely try to financially deprive you, for sure. You just gotta stay out the way. keep going with this stuff. Nobody's claiming the target, and they something else. But yeah, me another target. Yeah, imagine claiming the Truman Show was on your life, but you um did something. Like, bro, don't listen to these people, bro. They trying to get you to join their team. But me and another target has projects that we want to start far outside. They follow us and shut our projects off. Yeah, they will do that, bro. They will do that. But if you have a way to make money off of that, I suggest you still go hard with that. I suggest you still go hard with that. But I don't pretty much. Man, I found out that I was supposed to give up that type of stuff. As far as when it comes to trying to be talented for the TV people, that's Satan, bro. But that was when we understand that we was under heavy surveillance. Yeah, 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 yeah. They really try that stuff, bro. You got to be careful having certain talents too. Like they'll try to do something to you about having a talent. They'll steal your stuff and like do something to you. Like that stuff crazy, bro. Like so, I just stopped being any type of talented besides being, just on YouTube and just telling people what this stuff is. Using this stuff the right way, using my talents the right way to remove this stuff from people's mind, remove the mental illnesses from people's mind. That's just um, insane. Because it's not just me, like it's others that it's not just me, it's others that like they can't, you know, they can't understand, they couldn't understand. I was just like that. They have panic wherever we come, different persons but same after name hunting us. Yeah, yep, yep, that's how that stuff is. But understand, all of that stuff is connected. These three-letter agencies are connected to these labels and stuff like that. All of that. Retired three-letter agency people, uh, they're behind labels and stuff like that. All of that stuff, bro. Like, I ain't really realized that type of stuff. Not realize, like, well, that only makes sense. They not giving all these people all this money, and they not finna be trying to mess them up and targeting them and stuff like that. Not targeting them, but surveilling them and putting um, undercover informants inside of music groups to stand behind certain individuals and videos and be hanging out with them and be around them. Like all of them people be that's them, like them informants. Like some of them, I ain't saying it like that, but yeah, like I mean, not even like that. Yeah, pretty much that's happening everywhere, bro. Like that's scary. It really is. But it's not scary for me. That's not something I'm never doing in my life. I'm never. Yep, high up families. Yep, all of that stuff, bro. You have to understand that type of stuff. Yep, all of that type of stuff. That's why I just said, hey, I got off of probation, 2023. I said 2022, something like that. I said, let me get a job, and that's all I'm doing. I ain't doing nothing else. If I do music, it's gonna be music that I can do for myself and just keep it to myself. That's the music I listen to. Cause I don't listen to any music myself. Yeah, I don't listen to any music myself. Gatekeepers, yep, all of that. But yeah, 2023, beginning of 2023, I said I'm finna just have me a job and collect my disability. That's all. Like that's I'm good. I'm thinking I have to do that because at that time I'm thinking like I fell out of competition with people. I fell out of competition with like you know, little fake competition that I was in with, you know, secret competitions that we have. Like, hey, I want to be famous before all of y'all. Like, I fell out of those competitions like in 2022, and then in 2023, I realized I don't even have to do that. Like, I don't even have to. Like, I don't even have to do any of that stuff, and I want everybody else to win. Something just came over me, and then they got mad at that, and all of a sudden started, um, throwing all type of assuming false accusations toward me and stuff. So just like they got mad that I wasn't trying to be gangster anymore or trying to be a rapper anymore, and I realized how good my life was. I didn't realize how good my life was. I felt like I had to get famous because some of my exes dating famous people, they kind of famous themselves. Uh, And I was like, oh hell no! Like I gotta get famous like before all of my other friends and stuff like that. And I realized how good my life was, and like I don't have to do that. Like I don't even have to do that. I could do what I want to do. All I want to do is be doing stuff for OnlyFans girls and making money and stuff like that. Like, and then I realized what I wanted to do in life, and then they got angry and started. Years later, they got angry and started, making false accusations and stuff like that, subliminally saying false accusations and stuff in non-verbal communication. But yeah, bro, nobody that gets on here claiming to be on the Truman Show, claiming to be Truman Show, I highly doubt they've done anything. Yeah, for real, that is. For real, for real. For real. At least you know that. Yeah, at least you know that. For real, for real. I ain't nobody trying to do that. They say can't get famous. That's a death sentence today. You must hide. Yeah. That's why I get on here and show my face. That shows, hey, bro, anybody, I get on here and show my face because if I decide to get famous, this is how you know I'm not trying to. I get on here and show my face because anybody that say, oh, he trying to be famous, bro, I'm showing my face talking about intelligence, bro, logistics and conspiracy theorists. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm showing my face talking about that. So and I've been showing my face talking about that since 2023. Yeah, since 2023. Like so, anybody talking about I'm trying to get famous, they lying. They lying. I've been doing this since 2023, and I show my face for the purposes of hey, with the gatekeeper, hey, you cannot contact me. It's over with. I've already shown my face on here multiple. I got deleted videos. Um, that I showed my face on, talking about this the whole time, Gangstalking, and I have active. I've had active. I have active videos showing my face. I show my face on here every video for about 10 seconds, just to say, hey, I'm not doing that because I'm showing my face. Obviously, anybody showing their face on here talking about gang stalking immediately cancels you from celebrity status. I'm trying to be that. That's very godly right there to me. But yeah, yeah, that's a great movie too, for sure, for sure. But I remember when I first seen it, I was so happy. I was like, well, I'm glad I ain't never did nothing. Then all of a sudden, like fucking 10 years later, like, oh, hold on now. Like 10 years later, they making false accusations. If I can forget something, subliminal, nonverbal communication, stuff like that. If I can forget if I ever done something, that's hard target talk right there. They do that stuff every day. I'm talking about being subliminally threatened every day, nonverbal communication, verbal communication, being threatened with hard target talk, bro. Being threatened with, trying to be successful, financial, and being threatened with crimes at the same time as trying to save money, being threatened with false accusations, nonverbal, at the same time trying to save money. Make you want to just go, you want to go to the goddamn, if you want to go to the goddamn strip club and just spend all your money, like forget it, like whatever they talk about, they finna get me, like so nah, bro, like nah, bro. I know the goal of that stuff. This is hard target talk. This is why I tell y'all, you know, see the tenant, by Polanski about community stalking. I don't watch movies anymore, but is it legitimately like a gang stalking movie? So I don't even watch movies anymore. I strictly play the game and stuff like that. But yeah, like, I don't even watch movies anymore. I strictly play my game, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, like hard target talk, like just subliminal, non-verbal communication. The Myra Mays story, him being subliminally accused of crimes and stuff like that. Oh, made in the 70s. Oh no, I'm definitely not watching that then. I don't even watch movies anymore. But yeah, hard targeting, bro. Hard target talk. That's why I tell y'all you don't want to get on this level and you just gotta keep going. Like you don't want to get on this level. I'm just gonna keep going though. Just being non-verbal communication of committing crimes, saying you did something, hey, we finna arrest you. Like Myra Mays. That's hard target talk, bro. He had a spinning staircase in his house. Like a swirling staircase. He's a prosecutor, lawyer, person with a lot of money, you know, and you know, everything that, just everything. A person with a lot of money, like just, that's how they do. Just subliminally accuse you of crimes, make you try to mess your life up on your own, all of that stuff. But yeah, I just keep going. I just keep it going. I know I ain't did nothing in my life, so I ain't even finna worry about it. Like I said, back up off of me. I can't even think of that. So I can't even think of nothing bad I done did in my life. I tried. Like I tried. Like it's like, nah, bro, I doubt it, bro. I doubt it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's hard target talk right there, bro. That's why I be telling y'all to just get on y'all business. Be about y'all business, bro. Don't try to worry about nothing until you can. Don't try to worry about anything until you can. But nah, that movie in the 70s, bro. I probably gonna watch it. I ain't gonna watch that. Not no movie in the 70s. Not no movie in the 70s, bro. But I don't watch movies at all. There's a movie, there's a film on YouTube called The Spark by a Canadian director about stalking. Yeah. I ain't gonna watch none of that stuff though. Only thing I done seen is the Truman Show. I fall asleep on I fall asleep on that Denzel movie though. I ain't gonna lie. It's too spiritual. Like put too much a little bit. It ain't even tech. It ain't even technology. That Denzel movie ain't even technology. But the Truman Show, like, that's the first one I seen. That was the first one I seen. That was the first that Denzel movie. I fell asleep on. Like it's too. That's too. I wouldn't even say technology. Like that's too spiritual. That's too spiritual. But yeah. Um, yeah. I'll probably be live again. And yo, do you do you make live streams yourself? HR 3800. Do you make live streams yourself? I need people that make live streams. I need people that make live streams. So I got some new stuff to binge watch. Oh yeah. Say you don't, so I guess not. I mean, well, that's cool too. It don't really matter. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's a fun thing to do. It's a fun thing to do. Yeah, I might watch. Well, he putting some movies y'all can watch up. Like shit, I don't watch the movies. What? I'm probably finna get off of here. Been about an hour live stream. Shit, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't wanna. I don't wanna spoil the live stream with messing up the next one by talking about everything that I want to talk about. So I guess I'll be getting off of here now. But yeah, y'all tune into my live stream. I'll probably live tomorrow or the next day. All right, peace, and I love all y'all. I'll probably be live. I'll probably be live tomorrow or the next day. All right, peace out. Love all y'all.